Hey everyone, it's Dr. Rick, founder of Herbal411.com, and I wanted to talk quick today about fiber. Fiber is important to add to your food sources, and I'll be doing a video on the addition of fiber versus fermented foods as far as lowering your glucose levels. Now, those of you who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, type 2 diabetes, you'll know that you always are told to increase your fiber sources in your food. And I think most Americans don't have enough fiber. I did a lot of this when I was in my vegan state, just for self-experimentation, but this was always awesome. And if you came to my clinic in Bartlett early in the morning, I'd always have a plastic cup with a spoon sticking out of what looked like oats that was solid. The problem is with psyllium husk, and this is organic India, my favorite, psyllium husk can gel up fast because it has a combination of soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber is what it sounds like. It's like a sponge, and it takes on water, so it gets bigger. And insoluble doesn't do that, but it passes through to feed your gut bacteria food. So this is one source of food for your gut microbiome. You honestly have to have a wide variety of different fibers, vegetables, legumes, beans, fruits, and all the balanced stuff of the Mediterranean diet essentially will give your gut a healthy food source, prebiotic, and if your gut is healthy, then your metabolism's better and you can poop more regularly versus constipation or diarrhea. So this does help for those of you who are not diabetics, and if you do suffer from constipation or diarrhea, one or the other, bulking up your stool sources or your food sources will help with the diarrhea part. If you bulk up more, you won't be as liquidy. And those of you who are constipated, this also helps in the opposite way, that it pulls fluid into the gut lining, or I should say the lumen. And if there's more fluid in the lumen, the poop is softer and it comes through. It's excellent the way natural things can balance between two extremes. Two reasons I suggest it to folks who aren't diabetic, who are not suffering from IBS, that it increases the transit time or the hang time of food in your stomach. And when the stomach senses that bulk more, so as far as adding this to your meal, maybe before or after, the stomach will slow down its emptying, and it'll also decrease the signal of insulin being secreted into your bloodstream. So if you've watched my videos on insulin resistance, because your food goes way too fast, or carbohydrates get way too fast through the gut, it leads to diabetes type 2 specifically. But those of you who only check or get your hemoglobin A1Cs checked by your doctor, that's a 3-month average of your glucose levels, spikes and troughs. And it's not good enough. I think that most of my insulin resistant patients, usually if we don't do anything, will go on to diabetes. So checking that hemoglobin A1C at the last minute, you'll find the diabetes after it's there. Checking the insulin before you even have to worry about A1C, you'll find your disease process faster, you'll declare it, and you can start fixing things faster. I think we all need a little bit of a push or a signal or a reason. And if you've been given a thumbs up by your doctor, then you're not going to invest in a nutritional change. And I think this is the first step in nutritional change. Not only decreases your insulin secretion, it also decreases postprandial glucose. That means the glucose after your meal. If you get a lot of absorption of glucose or carbohydrates from your meal, and those of us who eat way too many carbs or sugars, that's going straight from stomach into bloodstream, and the pancreas just goes wild. So if you can get more fiber in your food, whether it's fiber sources or just plain old Mediterranean diet, and I'll be doing a video on fiber versus Mediterranean diet soon, but if you can get the fiber in, then technically the hang time of your solid food that's in your gut is longer, and the metabolism appreciates that. It doesn't go haywire, like the reaction you might get from a Red Bull or sugar in your coffee or candy, cake, pastries. If you do all that stuff, you're just gonna spike your sugars and your metabolism is gonna become that of a diabetic. So I think this is nice, 3 teaspoons a day in water, but you have to drink it pretty fast because it solidifies. And that's why my spoon was up and down in the clinic when I ate it. Now, if you don't like that because it's a little bland, then my suggestion is this. I use Now Foods B12. This is cherry flavored. I would put this into my mix. I'm sorry, I don't have a cup here. And I'd have the bulk of the fiber in water, getting gelled up, but I'd spin a packet or two of B12 for the cherry flavor, and to make it a lot easier, that I would start with combinations of this and water, so it would be liquidy, but after about an hour, it would be gelled, and I'd have to eat it like grits. So the other option too, if you don't like that thickness, is acacia. Acacia fiber also helps. It dissolves in water, and you don't really see it, but this tastes like soil. So that's the only problem with acacia, but both of these are really good for decreasing your insulin, getting you a fuller sense so you don't get as hungry and have craving after a fast meal. And it also is healthy for gut health, or feeding your microbiota. For those of you who still have problems, I love triphala. Triphala is 3 herbs from India. We don't have to talk about the specific herbs, but when you have fiber in your gut and you still have bloating and inflammation, I think triphala settles that. So those of you who have to work between constipation and diarrhea, sometimes even if we bring that to that little Goldilocks window where you're pooping pretty good, you still get bloat. The bloating is experienced as far as increasing your belly size right after eating within an hour to 3 hours. And that's painful for some people. And you have to, it's not from size, it's not from gaining weight, it's just from gas. And I think that this does decrease the gas formation. Gas equals inflammation. Inflammation could be SIBO, and that's a different topic, but this will help a bit. So I think all these 3 things are great to have as far as your supplements until you develop your own style of Mediterranean food, or even if you're a carnivore or a keto person, a paleo person, I think there's ways to work this stuff in so you have a healthier gut and a healthier metabolism. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section down below. And if this helped you, then please give me a thumbs up. Otherwise, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you at the next video.